Close your eyes and picture this. The solid ground beneath you suddenly disappears. Mountains, plains, and cities vanish beneath an endless expanse of water that stretches farther than the eye can see. Streets once bustling with life are now ghostly canals. Skyscrapers jut out of the waves like shipwrecks from another world, their upper floors barely clinging to the surface, while the lower structures are swallowed entirely. The Earth, as we know it, has transformed into one colossal ocean, a liquid planet without borders, without land. Imagine standing on a tiny fragment of concrete or drifting among the ruins of your hometown, the roar of the ocean replacing the hum of civilization. Every familiar landmark is gone, replaced by an infinite, undulating blue that glimmers in the sunlight and disappears into storm-darkened horizons. At first, the world descends into chaos. Nations attempt to respond, but there is nothing to respond to. Governments cannot mobilize armies on flooded roads, airports are submerged, and ports are overwhelmed. The first weeks are sheer panic. People cling to whatever floats, rafts, abandoned ships, rooftops, even furniture lashed together. Those who own boats suddenly find themselves the rulers of tiny islands of survival amid an endless expanse. Cities crumble further as the relentless tides erode structures, washing away roads, bridges, and monuments that once symbolized human achievement. The familiar becomes alien as streets dissolve into watery corridors and familiar skylines morph into surreal sculptures jutting from the sea. Food becomes an immediate crisis. Crops, unable to survive submerged, rot in saline water. Livestock is lost, swept away, or drowned. Humanity is forced to adapt in ways it never has. Floating farms emerge, built on improvised rafts and modified ships, cultivating seaweed, shellfish, and other forms of marine life. Fishing becomes the new agriculture, with humans diving into unknown depths to harvest the ocean's bounty. Technology shifts rapidly as energy grids collapse and fuel becomes scarce. Solar panels float on improvised platforms. Wind turbines are mounted on massive rafts that drift with currents. Survival becomes a daily calculation of risk, hunger, and ingenuity. As humans scramble, nature does not wait. Predators of the deep take advantage of the new world. Great white sharks patrol former highways, their fins cutting through submerged streets. Dolphins and whales explore flooded cities, curious and unafraid. Species once confined to distant seas now mingle with remnants of terrestrial ecosystems, evolving in unexpected ways. Birds adapt, nesting on drifting debris or learning to fish in the endless waters. Insects mutate or vanish, some finding niches atop floating vegetation, others swallowed by the unforgiving waves. Life becomes a chaotic dance of adaptation, extinction, and survival. The climate transforms drastically. With continents gone, currents shift unpredictably. Storms rage without the friction of land masses to slow them down, creating massive hurricanes that circle the planet, their winds and waves devouring everything in their path. Tides grow monstrous as the gravitational balance of the planet changes. Some areas experience weeks of darkness under clouded, storm-heavy skies, while others bask in perpetual, shimmering sunlight on calm waters. Volcanoes that once rose from continents now erupt under the ocean, forming new islands or creating underwater pressure zones that shift currents and spawn temporary whirlpools capable of swallowing entire floating communities. Humanity, however, is stubborn. Communities organize on massive floating platforms, some using repurposed cruise ships, oil rigs, or even entire cities lashed together with steel cables and life preservers. Trade survives through daring maritime convoys, navigating the dangerous waters between floating habitats. Pirates emerge, ruling over swaths of ocean with fear and ferocity, while new alliances form, driven by necessity and the fight for survival. Communication relies on long-range radio signals, and improvised satellite relays, as humanity clings desperately to its former sense of organization in a planet that has become overwhelmingly fluid. Yet, amid the struggle, remarkable innovations occur. Humans learn to farm beneath the waves, cultivating algae in underwater biomes. Cities develop floating gardens that harvest rainfall and desalinate water. Architects build modular habitats that drift with currents, resisting storms through flexible engineering. Even transport evolves. Massive submersible trains connect floating cities beneath the waves, while enormous airships patrol the skies, ferrying goods and people across the watery expanse. Life, though difficult and dangerous, continues, adapting with relentless creativity to a world utterly transformed. Predators evolve alongside humanity. The oceans become a theater of evolutionary experimentation. Giant squids patrol deep ocean trenches, hunting creatures that adapt to lightless waters. Fish evolve bioluminescence, illuminating submerged ruins of once great cities in eerie, otherworldly glows. Some mammals develop fins and webbed extremities, returning to the ocean from which their ancestors emerged millions of years ago. Sharks grow larger, bolder, and in some regions, territorial enough to challenge human encampments. Even microscopic life explodes, as formerly stable ecosystems collapse and recombine, creating strange new pathogens and symbiotic relationships that humans must navigate carefully. Over decades, humans begin to truly embrace the oceanic world. Education adapts, teaching children to swim and dive before they learn arithmetic. Entire generations grow up with a horizon defined only by water, and legends evolve around the mysteries beneath the waves. Stories of submerged cities become cautionary tales and inspirations, spurring explorers to map sunken ruins and chart the new aquatic geography. New religions and philosophies emerge, venerating the ocean as the ultimate arbiter of life, death, and adaptation. Humanity learns humility, realizing that, on a world governed by water, control is an illusion, survival is temporary, and adaptation is everything. As centuries pass, Earth becomes a true water world. Land masses have vanished entirely. Only scattered artificial islands and floating cities remain as refuges for humans. Marine life flourishes unchecked, forming sprawling underwater forests of coral and seaweed that stretch for miles. Predators dominate where humans cannot reach, and new ecosystems flourish in areas once uninhabitable. The planet hums with life in a new balance, one governed by currents, tides, and survival instincts rather than politics, borders, or property. Humans, now truly ocean dwellers, respect the water that has reshaped the world, learning not to fight it, but to move with it, to harvest from it, and to survive within its boundless expanse. And yet, the mysteries of the deep remain, tantalizing and terrifying. What ancient creatures lie hidden in trenches deeper than the tallest mountains once reached? What secrets do the sunken ruins of civilization hold beneath miles of water pressure? What new threats await in a world where the only horizon is the endless, glimmering blue? The ocean has swallowed our planet, and with it, the familiar. Humanity has adapted, but the ocean is infinite, and the unknown stretches as far as the imagination. Perhaps in this watery world, life will endure, evolve, and thrive, but only those willing to surrender to the tides, to embrace the vast, relentless ocean, will survive to see it. In this unimaginable scenario, the Earth has become something alien, vast, and beautiful in its terrifying magnitude. It is a reminder of the fragility of civilization, the resilience of life, and the unimaginable power of nature. One giant ocean, stretching endlessly, reshaping existence itself, leaving humans, animals, and life in a constant struggle to endure. A world without land is a world reborn, a world where survival is more than adaptation. It is a relentless journey across the endless waves, where every sunrise is a triumph and every storm a test. This is not just a hypothetical. It is a vision of a world transformed, a planet dominated by water, and a story of life clinging to existence in the face of ultimate change.